Maybe seated. Father, Yahweh, thanks for another day in His courts. We are not in Brandon, we are in His courts. So we give Father Yahweh thanks for that. I'd like to thank Sister Stevie and Sassia for leading the morning song service. And you young people, campers, you have done well since yesterday. I didn't really have to call, and I wasn't have to call to any one of you to behave yourself or to stop complaining, and that is commendable. So, but with the same zeal and excitement that you have when you're outside running up and down, give it to Father Yahweh this morning now. Give it to Father Yahweh. We're not at a funeral, and anyway, Assemblies of Yahweh funeral today. I would be worse than that. I'm gonna see. And I give thanks to this morning, you're alive, and you're alive in Yahweh. So we're here this morning to give Him all praise and honor, and we're going to do it with joy in our hearts because He has been good to us. Hasn't He been good to you? Yes. Young people, hasn't He been good to you? Yes. Yes. You're alive and well, and you dress up in a nice, pretty clothes this morning, and you're here to give Father Yahweh thanks. Right? You are blessed. So you're going to show Father Yahweh that you're appreciative of it. So we're going to sing just one chorus, and then we're going to have our morning reading. I will enter His gates with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter His courts with praise. I will sing in the name that Yahweh has made. I will rejoice over the Praise Yahweh. We are now going to have our morning reading, and that will be taken from Psalm 145. As you find it, please stand. And even if you don't have one, stand. This is David's psalm of praise. David had a lot to give Yahweh thanks for. We will be reading alternately. Are we all there? I will extol thee, my Elohim, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever.
Every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever.
Great is Yahweh, and greatly to be praised.
Generation shall praise thy works to another, and shall declare thy mighty acts.
I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty, and of thy wonders,
And I will declare thy greatness.
thy righteousness.
Yahweh is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger, and praise thee, O Yahweh. And
Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all generations.
Yahweh holdeth all that fall, and raiseth up all those that are fallen.
The eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou givest them their meat in due season.
Thou openest thine hand and satisfiest the
Yahweh is righteous in all his ways and holy in all his works.
Yahweh is nigh all them that call upon him. To all that call upon him.
He will also hear their cry and will save them.
Yahweh preserveth all them that love him. All the wicked will be destroyed.
And all shall speak the praise of Yahweh and let all worship.
Whenever he uses something. Not now.
Today's devotional service will be taking the theme of having both faith and integrity. To start, we will sing Just As I Am, and I'll ask Brother Warren to lead us in the throne of grace. Hymnal is number 52. We are standing and share with me. So Job 2, we'll be reading from 1 to 10 alternately. Job 2, reading from 1 to 10 alternately. Everyone there? Again, there was a day when the sons of Yahweh came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahweh.
Yahweh said unto Satan, From whence cometh thou? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth Yahweh and escheweth evil, and still integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause.
And Satan answered Yahweh and said, Seek for sleep, yea, all that a man hath will he give for life.
But put forth thine hand alone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thy hand, but save his life.
So went Satan forth from the presence of Yahweh, and smote Job with sore cords, and from his sole of his foot unto his crown.
And he took him about the spirit himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes.
Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse Yahweh and die. And he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive at the hand of Yahweh, and shall we not receive evil in all his? So this is showing us that Job was a faithful man and he had integrity. And he believed in Yahweh that, first of all, we should reach this stage in our spiritual lives that Yahweh should boast about us like any proud parent. Like from once we have done something well, our parents are proud of us, right? Am I right? And we should be at the stage where Father Yahweh is proud to talk about us to Satan. And he said, like for example, I am a perfect and upright man that follows his commandments, statutes, and his laws. Don't you think we should reach that place in our spiritual life? Yes. So this is showing us that Job had his integrity, but he was also faithful because when his wife told him to curse Yahweh and die, did he do it? He stood up for Yahweh, and he was faithful because he did not turn his back on Yahweh, for it is in the scriptures that if we turn our backs on Yahweh, he will also turn his back on us. So this is showing us that we should be exactly like Job, walk and follow his words, have integrity, which we were learning about this from Tuesday to Friday in intermediate class. Yes, we were learning about having integrity and how it's good, and having integrity makes us reliable, makes us loyal, trustworthy, honest. These are the good qualities that we must have if we want to reflect Yeshua. And reflecting Yeshua, seeing this, that struck him with boils, did he curse Yahweh? No. So when we are reflecting Yeshua, it is not an easy road. It will be hard. It isn't a bed of roses. It will be hard. From once you accept Yeshua, it is not easy. But we should be faithful and have the integrity to stand up and believe in Yahweh, because at the end, there's a good prize, which is eternal life, and that is what I get. And I would like to share this inspirational story. Cut the rope. This story might strengthen our faith. May Yahweh strengthen our faith. They tell the story of a mountain climber desperate to conquer the Aconcagua. Initiated his climb after years of preparation, but he wanted the glory to himself. Therefore, he went up alone. He started climbing, and it was becoming later and later. He did not prepare for camping, but decided to keep on going. Soon it got dark. Night fell with heaviness at such high altitude, and there was zero visibility. Everywhere was black. No moon and the stars covered by clouds. And he was climbing at about 100 meters from the top. He slipped and passed in the same darkness, and a terrible sensation of being suctioned by gravity. He kept falling, and through his mind, he thought he would die. Nevertheless, he felt a jolt that almost tore him in half. Like any good mountain climber, he had stacked himself with a long rope tied to his waist. In those mountains of stillness, suspended in the air, he had no other choice but to shout, "Help me, Yahweh, help me." All of a sudden, he heard a deep voice from heaven. "What do you want me to do? Save me." The rescue team says the next day they found will stand once more and sing, "We have an anchor." We have an anchor. We'll all stand and repeat the
Praise Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Thank you, Brother Krista. You have done well. You are learning. And I hope that the rest of you were listening and that you could concur with what he was saying. That means that you agreed with what he was saying because you learned those things in your Bible class. I must make welcome to Sister Shanti and to I know Sister Paulette's name, but I don't know the name of the young man, but they're from Congregation of Yahweh, and we give Father thanks that they're here. I think there are two more persons coming. Right, they're coming, Sister Frenchie and another young lady. Yahweh for his speech. Everybody on to praise Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. Loves me, this I know. The Bible tells me so. The Bible tells me so. Praise Yahweh. You may be seated. Okay. Just a few announcements before we get into our memory verse and collection of offering. Okay, just reminding that when we go on lunch break, we're supposed to rest. I know that maybe by your teams you want to meet, but I want you to continue to remember that today is the Sabbath and that you're to conduct yourselves accordingly. After Sabbath service, we have our social, and it will be held in the hall here. Tomorrow, I think we get up at the same 5:30, and we will do our nature walk at 6. I'm not very sure where we're walking to this year, but we shall walk. All right. So we have that, and then in the evening, which I know that all of you are looking forward to, this is the banquet. For tomorrow, we will have sometime in the day, and then at the banquet, we will finish off our memory verse. It's a downright shame. I've only one meal. I could just give it to him, but he have to work for it, just get pay and rewards, right? So he still has to do his memory verses, but it is very shameful on you young men that none else of you wants to try. And people that try, up to Tisan come, and Tisan say, only 2 me know. He says, say Tisan, but by the time we finish with the first one, we don't see it. I know it can turn you on. So he didn't even try either. But the females, the same goes for you, because only 2 persons are participating. And that does not spell well at all. It's either you don't know the memory verses or you don't have no confidence in yourself. Alright? So, but in any case, according to Yasmin tells Stevie and said, make it what we go, make it what we win, and we will share it. Yeah. You know, so, but we will see. So that the end, the round, the third round, I think, yeah, will be done at the banquet. And then we will hand over to whom? It shall be handed over to the trophy. There is also the trophy for the champion team. And you did not get one yesterday set of points, but we will get to that. Also, for last day of camp for Monday, you know that we close off at 11. So, and I'm asking you this time around, please don't leave anything here. Every year when you let things, make sure that when you're packing, you pack all that is yours and take them home. Because I'm not going to be asking who this and not asking the assembly who this, I'm going to throw them away. Right? So please make sure that you pack your things away properly so that you go back home with everything that you came with. Alright? Announcement. Oh yes, and some persons, you have to finish your craft. Well, you can use tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have, I'm going to put up the timetable, but we have, other than the memory verse, round 2, for our sporting activity, we will be having Olympics, so you know that it involves everything as much as we can to replicate the different areas, whether track and field. So I hope that you will participate tomorrow. And oh yes, we have a volunteer who is going to gift the camper who has displayed all the good qualities that you know you should display. You were participative, you had good behavior, and all of those things that we should be mirroring Yeshua for. So at the end of camp, we will do away with that award. All right. And I know that there are many of you who don't have your tokens still. Tokens were taken Some persons don't have no token, some people can't find them token. Some persons can't find the head tie that you were given or the bag that you were given. And our events just have a responsibility mark all over it. But we hope that you will learn. Alright? So you know that you remember you were told that the person at the end of camp who has their token still or has the most tokens that you will be rewarded. Alright. I think that is it for our announcements. We're going to have our memory verses now and collection of offering. Michael and Jordan, can you do the honors for me? You do this side and Michael do that side. Can you give them the timbrel, please? Proverbs 8, verse 17. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. So let's go.
Revelation 8:1, verse 1, as I mentioned, this restore. Revelation 3:1, this side. Anyone here want Proverbs 16, verse 2. The tongue of the wise is knowledge aright, but the mouth of the fool burdens. John 1, verse 4. In him was life, and the life was the life of man. In him was life, and the life was the light of man.
Verses taken from the gospel of John 50, and everything that is not knowing.
Proverbs 27, verse 17, train up a child. Proverbs 22, verse 6, train up a child and wait upon one when
James 1 verse 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Proverbs 15, verse 3, that the eyes of Yahweh never place beholding the evil.
Shall one redeem verse 41. Who shall I keep the continually forever and ever? Greetings, one verses taken from Matthew 5, verse 16. That your life will shine upon you, that we may see your goodness.
Psalm 71, verse 1. In thee, O Yahweh, do I put my trust. Let me never be put to confusion.
Psalm 119, verse 11. Thy word planted in my heart that I may not sin.
Psalm 100, verse 1 and 2. Make a joyful noise unto Yahweh, all ye that serve Yahweh, that his holy church for the sake.
My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Proverbs 1, verse 10.
Any more? Thanks,
Psalm 119, verse 17.
Psalm 19, verse 162. I rejoice at thy word, as one that findeth grace for
All right, let us stand. I'm going to ask Brother Karji to bless the offering.
Let us be different from all the others. Bless this Sunday. as we have given from the portion of your people. I ask that you bless it, that you give us food and your will, and blessing it.
Hallelujah. Okay, we're now going to have our prayer for youth, and I'm going to ask Pastor to petition on behalf of the youth as we sing the hymn, Hear and Answer Prayer. I think it's 9 in the Hallelujah hymnal. I am praying, blessed Savior, to be more and more like thee. consecrate.
Hallelujah.
Praise Yahweh.
Let us pray. Almighty Yahweh, creator and sustainer of this world, the one who have given us instructions and the reasons why we are here, because you have commanded us to keep yourself. This morning, in a very special way, I come to you. On behalf of our children, I lift them up before you. I'm asking for the heart that you have placed in Samuel when you called them to be placed in our children here this morning. I ask, oh Father Yahweh, that a heart that will only know righteousness, a heart that will only seek after good. As we lift up our children before you, we want the best for our children. And that's why we are committing them in your hand. This morning here at camp, my heart is bubbling with joy, knowing that if you keep these children, the future of the assembly and the future of your work will be in good hands. I'm asking you, oh Father Yahweh, to touch their hearts. You called Josiah when he was 7. And I know that among these children, there are Phoebe, Josiah's, and Samuel's. And I'm asking you, oh Father Yahweh, to keep them. I'm asking you to give them a heart that will seek after unity. A heart that will seek you as that deer panted for the water. Just a point of time that you have to say. Give you thanks, giving you thanks for the counselors. Sister Audrey, I lift her up by name in a very special way. One that have a zeal towards the children from a long time now. She don't get tired. I pray that she will never get tired. I pray that there will be others that will stand in the gap for our children. Father Yahweh, time will fail me to call names, but I'm just asking for your blessing. So I'm committing the children in your hand. In the mighty name, Yeshua Mashiach.
Praise Yahweh. Continue standing. We're going to be repeating our 10 commandments, or creed and petition song. Come, young children, you stand up. From the outside, we can't keep it steady. Stand up. Show your strength, Father Yahweh, today. We're ready? And Yahweh spake all these words, saying,
I am Yahweh, shall not be out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other name before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them, for I visiting iniquity of fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name Yahweh thy Elohim to bring it to naught, for Yahweh will not only give this and take it away to them to bring it to naught. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is in thy gate. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heaven and the earth, the sea and all that in it is, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and honored it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long on the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee. Thou shalt not commit murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not commit thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not commit thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor. So readeth the law of Yahweh. It is good for us to be here, that are present in the house of Yahweh, which is the assembly of the living Elohim, the middle of the ground of truth. According to 1 Timothy 3:14 and 15. These things write I unto thee, open unto thee shortly, but if I tarry long, thou mayest know. Thou art is the David, which is the assembly of the living Elohim, the middle of the ground of truth. Whose our schools are to love each other, to learn our lessons, and to obey our teachers. We should love each other, for the scripture has said, love is the fulfillment of the law. According to St. John 14:15, if ye love me, keep my commandments. We should learn our lessons, for the scripture has said, in Romans 15:4, so the things are written aforetimes were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. We should obey our teachers, for the scripture has said, obedience is better than sacrifice, and to harm will never cut a bound. For rebellion is the number of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. According to 1 Samuel 15:21 and 23. So read the rules. Have mercy. Have mercy. Have mercy
Praise Yahweh. Everyone to stand. I am a wife. I'm a wife. I am a How are we feeling this morning? That's all. Thank you. How are we feeling this morning? Okay, have a seat. I'm going to introduce a few persons this morning that many of us would not know. We have around the back, just as our Auntie Audrey is for youth, we have Sister Frenchie. Sister Frenchie, can you stand, please? She's from the congregation, and I'm going to ask her to introduce the other persons who are here from the congregation.
Okay, this is Claudette. That's Haley's mom.
Sorry, boss.
And this is Chanel, Haley's sister. And this is Chanel.
Okay.
And Grace and just stepped out a while ago.
So the gentleman you see walking around to the almost to the back is Emmanuel. Praise Yahweh. Nice to have you here. We have in our midst people from all over the globe. We have from Yorkland. We have from Spring Mount. And I'm going to ask those adults to stand and introduce themselves so the person that's from congregation can know who you are. We know you already, so we don't need to introduce you. You don't need to introduce yourself to us. And of course, we should know Pastor. Pastor, could you show your hand, please? Pastor Gallimore. And I think that's it. Good. So we can now get into our business of the Sabbath school. We have our Sabbath school. We're going to be singing a song. Most of us should know it. Remember, I'm not a singer. I do war cries. So I'm going to ask for your assistance. Okay. Praise Yahweh. I'm going to ask Brother Khaled to open the Sabbath school prayer.
Thank you for waking us up in our right minds. Thank you for keeping us in our Bible study. And as we're about to begin our Sabbath school, I pray that you will please make sure that what we learn to be able to use it in our lives. Thank you for the gift. Bless us now. Whatever prayers ask this time. Let your excellency.
Hallelujah. Praise Yahweh. Please be seated. We have been doing a series in the assembly since of lately. We have been looking at Revelations. Which youth can tell me which Revelation, which chapter we're at now? We're at 7. Who can tell me what we spoke about last week? Yes, Krista.
The 7 seals.
The 7 seals. What about the 7 seals?
When Yeshua opened them, and what the seal?
When Yeshua opened, there a specific animal in it that was spoken about?
Horses.
Yes?
Horses.
Horses. And there are all black horses? No. Black, white, red,
Pale.
and pale what? Pale green. Or it was just pale? It was just pale. Okay. The one that was white, was it Yeshua was on that one?
No.
No? Who was on that one?
Satan.
The false. The anti-Messiah. So it's one that wants to be like Messiah and do things that is not of Messiah. All right? So we're there then. So this week now we're moving on to chapter 7. The topic for this Sabbath school, the sealed people of Yahweh. And based on what we're doing at camp here, how can we link the topic for camp to this? This camp theme. To do what? Mirroring Yeshua. How could we link that to this? Yes. So how does seeing people of Yahweh come into the picture? Yes.
When you mirror Yeshua and you have his characteristics, then you'd be under the sealed people of Yahweh.
Thank you very much. If you mirror Yeshua, you have the characteristics of Yeshua, then automatically you're going to be a sealed set of persons for Yahweh. Agreed? Agreed? So, Miss Daniel, like when you don't like me, are you sealed with Yahweh? No? So it's true that you don't like me for true? I would have said it as a joke. But your answer, I said no. Serious, right? You don't vex with me, right? Okay, good. So you're on your way then? Yes. The theme, in my heart and my forehead. My heart and my forehead. So we're taking that seal, not a physical seal, but something that we need to be aware of. Once we mirror in our heart, and people should see it on the outside. So we talk about the forehead. People should be seeing it on the outside. You know, one of the first things that people look at when they see is your face. If you're going into a relationship, is your face they look at first. We know that? Very rare people look at the person's foot to decide yes or no. But the first thing they see is your countenance. The next thing they might look at is the rest of your body. What is usually outward appearance? So we're going to go quickly into reading, which is Revelation 7. I don't know how I'm going to manage with this mic today. Heavy. Are we there yet? Okay. So we're going to be reading alternately. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding 4 winds of the earth. And the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
And I saw another angel standing from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom he was given to earth the earth and the sea.
Now can you imagine these 4 angels holding back the winds, so that neither blow water, tree, land, man, nothing. Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the tree, till we have seen the servant of our Elohim in their foreheads.
And I heard the number of them which received 144,000 of all tribes of the children of Israel.
How many zeros to that 144?
3.
How many zeros to that 144?
3.
3. Okay. Of the tribe of Judah were seed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were seed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were seed 12,000.
Of the tribe of
Asher received 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali received 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh received 12,000.
Of the tribe of Simeon received 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi received 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar received 12,000.
Of the tribe of Zebulun received 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph received 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin received 12,000.
You know who these are? Children of Israel. That is his second name. What was his first name? Children of Yahweh. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all the nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne, and palms in their hands.
The Lord said, salvation to our heaven, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb.
And all the angels stood around about the throne, and about the elders, and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces, and worshipped Yahweh.
Say, Hallelujah, blessing and worship, and wisdom and thanksgiving, and honor and power, and might be unto our Elohim forever and ever.
And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, what are these which are arrayed in white robes? And whence came they?
And I said unto them, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, these are which came out of the great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb.
Therefore are they before the throne of Yahweh, and serve him day and night in his temple, and he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them.
They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them.
For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto the living fountain, and Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Praise Yahweh. So last week we looked at 4 horses, and none of them, I would say, they were good. They're about laying, killing, starving, just doing as much as they could before Yeshua, who is now stepping in. Because he's aware of what is happening, and he knows for a fact that he needs people with him. So there's this 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe, each a child of Yaakov. Can you imagine us now in these days having 12 children? Anybody can imagine that? No? It was an easy thing back then. It wasn't easy back then? No, I'm not talking to female having a child, I'm talking just having 12 children to feed, to teach, to get up every morning, boil tea. I find it hard to boil tea for one, much less 2. But back then, that is what it was all about. Because they were given the task to be fruitful and multiply. And so they did. Is there any verse that comes out at you? Anybody? You know, me already, you know, I'm start asking questions to the youths, you know. Anybody? Verse 16. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. Why is that unique to you? Why is that unique to you?
Because it's basically showing the power which the Lamb holds. But it goes on to verse 17, it says, for the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them and shall lead them unto the living fountains of water, and Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. So basically, when we reach the new Jerusalem, or the new kingdom, there will be no more pain or no more suffering, basically, because Yeshua will be our
The wind. Movement. What? Come again. Cares of life, yes. But these cares of life come in a form that before these 4 horses are the 4 that went out before to do what they have to do. Yeshua is telling them to halt and let me put a seal on a specific set of persons. This 144,000 was just as anybody. Yeshua is going to stop them and say, let me first put on 144,000. 12,000 coming from each tribe. Because these are the persons who have been elect. And who would be those that you know would be saved. His promise, Yahweh's promise, never go void. So these angels was really holding back until those who were to be chosen and the seal placed upon them was done. And it could not have been done at an earlier time. The one that jumps out at me though is, after this I beheld, that's 9, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindred and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. That white cloth, robes, and palm depicts peace. It depicts victory. When was the last time you heard about palms in the scriptures? When Yahshua rode in on the donkey. At that time, the people were rejoicing because they thought about victory. What about the tongues? Is it what we're used to when it says that, and people and tongues of all nations, all kindreds and people? Do we think that the tongues is, oh, stand up my Honda? It was constantly getting us so good. When you talk about tongues, what we're talking about? Language. Say Spanish, Latin, Greek, Japanese, Chinese, you name it. It was persons with different tongues. And we have to be so very careful when we talk about these tongues. Because tongues is something that we should understand. And every man to its kind. And I found it unique in Acts 2 when the apostles spoke in tongues, and there were different persons there in different languages. Everybody could understand exactly what is being said in their own language. But this great multitude that a man cannot count. And they say when Yeshua comes back, everybody's going to know, see, and hear. Can you imagine everybody in Jamaica seeing all of this unfolding? We don't want to leave here the notion that there's going to be 10 different Yahweh and 10 different Yeshua all over the globe for this to happen. We are going to see. So whether scientifically or we want to think about it, or it's going to be something that cannot be explained, the bottom line is, he will be seen. And because of the light that we have been living, reflecting Yeshua, there are many things that we have believed so far. We can't put down this one in there. When we think about going across that sea that was separated, and how many persons went across that sea, it's hard to believe, but guess what? It did happen. Praise Yahweh. Sister Lee.
Greetings. Evening. So that question is just an observation from verse 14.
And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation. And I remember even from this morning, from the devotion, when Christian was saying, Brother Christian was saying that it's not an easy road, basically. We have to go through a lot of things. Once you're called by Yahweh's name, you're going to have trials and tribulation. But the part that I look at is the contrast. And I've washed their robes and made them white in the blood. Now we know blood when you come out of the rain. And you wonder, how can you come out white out of rain? But it just shows the purity that we should have. Because Yeshua shed his blood. And through his shed blood, we have been made pure. We have to come out clean, untouched. So I was just looking at that contrast. Because I love it.
Thank you. I have a question for the youths before we move on. What position did Joseph hold? How should I put this? Children were born. What number was Joseph? You know Joseph? You know Joseph? What number was he in the family? 12? What number was he in the family? What? 13. Well, some serious mathematics going on. What position was Joseph in the family? Agreeing with TLE? What did TLE say? 12. Okay. Go down the line. What position was Joseph in the family? 12. Some people don't know them scripture story at all. Now I ask you, hear it. What position was Joseph? 12. Some people don't know them the scripture. Put them on a foot. What position was Joseph? 12. 12. What position was Joseph? You don't know. Go check my adult now. Acho? What position was Joseph? 11th is correct. It's a bit theoretical that camp. We're going to get about 5 tokens now. To the video for later. I never want to ask you that question. But I'm going to ask you another question. You ready for the question? You ready for the question? The question is, since there is 144,000 to be chosen, if we only took 11,000 from each tribe, how many would be remaining to be chosen? Too long. Sister Gallimon, your hand goes up. No, you're not mad, okay? 22,000. If the tribes, only 11,000 was taken from each tribe, how many? 121,000. No, sir. No, sir. You see, this is CXC, you know. This is assembly, yes, man. This is Sabbath. But this is CXC, you know. They're not asking a straightforward question. Hold on there. This is a little man and up. No. 122,000 will be remaining. You will ask a question. If 11,000 taken out? How many remain to be taken? 121. No. No. 132 total. Am I asking the question right? No. 10,000 is correct. Wow. No, we better get with the time, you know. Because when you come out to scriptures and you come on to the subject that you're at school, you better, for the sake of time, we're just going to stand and say the memory verse together. No, sorry? Oh, sorry, very sorry. Talking back, please. Yes. Watch out, watch out. So everybody here is going to say the memory verse?
Yeah.
No, you studied and you ready?
Yes.
Watch here, no. Listen, Auntie Tracy is what talking does. Wow. Yes.
And he said to me, these are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes.
One for the female. One for the female. Yes, ma'am.
The memory verse is taken from Revelation 7:14. And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, these are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb.
1-1.
16.
16. Verse 14. And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, these are they which came out of great tribulation and have washed their robe and made white in the blood of the Lamb.
2-1 to the females.
Remember verse is taken from Revelation 7 verse 14. And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, these are they which came out of great tribulation and have washed their robe and made them white in the blood of the Lamb.
2-2. 2-2. 2-2. Michael, you ready? You didn't study. Okay. Males are the head.
And he came and have washed their robes and have made them white in the blood of their robes and have made them white in the blood of the Lamb.
No. Things are missing. Things are missing. Go, Calvin. Karji. If you look into see.
And I said unto him, Sir, I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, these are they which came out of great tribulation and have washed their robes and have made them white in the blood of the Lamb.
TJ, tell him, so they're not getting that one. Yes.
The verse is taken from Revelation 7 verse. I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, these are they that came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robe and made them white in the blood of the Lamb.
Let's go.
Revelation 7 verse 14. And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, these are they that came out of great tribulation and have washed their robe and made them white. And made them washed their robe and made them white in the blood.
Praise Yahweh. Everybody stand now. And that is 3 I get in the token.
At 3.
She never finished. She called her. Are you going to curse me here today? I'm going to take a more token.
Take it away.
Take it away. And the member verse is taken from Revelation 7, verse 14. And I said unto him, Sir, Lord. And he said, Wash their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Praise Yahweh. Now, what is this talking about? The member verse. What is this talking about? The elect, which came out of great tribulation.
The journey of a person. Not the journey of a believer. Because the journey of a believer is filled with many trials, testing, and temptation. So those that overcame.
So it means that you are salsified. You are salsified. You know what salsified? It's a new word. That's how I make up words when I teach it. They were like Saul, who went through a lot. And at the end, Saul could be a part of this because he went through great tribulation. If there wasn't a man running for his life after him run down people and kill them, that was Saul. It would have been like Sandokan. Who knows Sandokan? And Natty Marvin. In those days, if one of those were supposed to change, nobody could have them attack to me. But it is not for us to make that choice. Ninja Man tried it. You remember? When Ninja Man went to church and everybody was saying that yes, he had changed. Until he started making a whole heap of cassette in those times. And people every carry going to a taxi. You hear him, yeah man, you believe you change, you want big discussion. But Saul made a change and he went through a lot of situations that would cause this to belong to him. How many of us are willing to go through this to make sure that our robes are washed white in the blood of Yeshua? Our introduction. John sees a great multitude that could not be numbered. These came out of great tribulation, washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. That is, they are a special group of people who, despite the very tribulation they encounter, have stayed faithful to Yeshua. This is a faithfulness symbolized by their being covered in the robe of his perfect righteousness. The opening of the seal shows that every person who claims to believe in the Messiah will receive the blessing of faithfulness or cures of unfaithfulness. Or the curse. It's supposed to be curse? Curse of unfaithfulness. Which one do we want? Which one we want? We want the blessing. We want the blessings. So we have to work for it. So we're moving into question number 1. Question number 1 asks, and before we even look at the readings, don't open your Bible. What does John see? How long are the angels supposed to restrain the wind? What will happen when the sealing is concluded? So what did John see? 4 angels. Was that only what John saw? Was it only 4 angels? How many angels did he see total that time? 5. What was the 5th one doing? Telling them to? So you can imagine them start hold back and just hear this angel go, run! And why was he to? Why were those angels told to stop? Why were they told to stop? And I asked you what happened, and I asked you why were those 4 angels stopped? Because what? Everybody was not sealed. So they were sealing starting before he said stop? Just ask it. Or were they stop so that sealing could start and end? What that word is going to make that give us that answer now. Read the scripture. Till, which means what? It had started.
No.
Is it until or till? What is there? In the scripture it said till. Okay.
It's three. That means let's start there. Wait till we finish.
Till, until. But wouldn't both of them mean the same thing? Yes. So is it, remember knowing I'm not an English person. Those persons who know me after assembly are not an English person. So is that saying that it had started? No. Okay. But the bottom line is this. They needed to seal those persons. The bottom line is that they needed to seal this 144,000 persons. Them to stop.
I think, all right, the scripture is saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till. So it's like before angels know we're about to start doing what we're supposed to do. So you tell them say, before they started, he said, wait, we have to seal them first.
When I read it, I am thinking that everybody would have gotten slaughtered. No? That's what I
So
thought.
it's like they have to pick out.
No? That's what I
So
thought.
it's like they have to pick out. And you say it first before they start.
Possible until the seal and the Passover. Any homes that are up with possible until the seal and the Passover. Any homes that are without the drug without being destroyed. So when you see without the drug, so when you seal his people, and his people will go through.
And what would happen after it was concluded? You will be left with what? After they have finished getting everybody sealed that needs to be sealed, 12,000 from each tribe. Then what? It will continue. And that will happen. The process that was started would have continued. That was about to start. So now let's look at the reading. Revelation 7:1-3, 2 Peter 3:9-14. Ready, yes?
Revelation 7:1-3-14.
Ready, yes?
Revelation 7:1-3.
2 Peter 3:9-14. You think that gave us some clarity to what is going to happen? A better explanation? I think so too. But his promise must go through. And these persons who will be picked are those persons who have survived the whole lifetime to that point. Yes, Pastor?
I don't want us to find ourselves in the position. The great multitude was seen also. The Jehovah's Witness at their Passover, because their work rate of figure of 144,000. Only the elders can suffer, because all others is not burdened. But Because they're talking that they're working with the people, so they keep trying to narrow it down to 144,000. 144,000. So for us, that number is strong. But from every town, every tribe, they were sealed individually. So we're not going to try to keep ourselves in 144,000. That will not work. All I know, they have a narrative that us in the Caribbean, they're up. It depends on whether they're last. So they say, so a lot of us in the Caribbean are now boasting that we are fleshly Jews and seeking to find our tribe. I have found mine. I am of the tribe of Judah, through Yeshua, and that's what I'm claiming. So I'm not here trying to find no special connection. My connection is through Yeshua, and I'm giving that. So I'm mostly in Yeshua.
So one thing we're sure about, that this process will happen, and we really just need to follow after Yeshua. We just need to mirror him, and once we have done that, we will be a part of the. And as explained by Pastor, we're not really talking about the 144,000, but once you have lived your life well and have done exactly what you're supposed to do, then you will be part of that set apart people to worship Yahweh in spirit and in truth. All of these say aye. Okay. Any need? No needs. So we can be assured that what John saw was 4 plus 1 angel. 4 angels doing what? 4 angels doing what? 4 angels doing what? Holding back the 4 corners of the earth. What were they holding back? Just need to make sure that you're on your feet. And that last angel, what was that last angel doing, TLE? Telling them to stop. At least you have the general idea. And the other thing that they noticed, supposed to go on some specific persons. So the angels are supposed to stay how long? Until all those that are to be sealed are sealed. Did they give a specific day, hour, month? No. All they need to know is that until the set of persons who are supposed to be sealed are sealed. And then, as was said, after the sealing, then it will be continuing what the 4 angels were supposed to do. So question number 2. Who can read question number 2 for me? Because I can't read.
What is the number of Yahweh sealed people that John saw? What is the meaning of the specific number?
So what was the number of Yahweh sealed people? 144,000. Anybody here know what 144 represents? You know, like 10 represent a decade. What's that special name for 144?
No, gross 100.
Gross is what? So gross is not 144? No?
Yes, gross is 144.
You hear me say students, sir? 144 is what?
Gross.
So gross. It is a gross.
So that means on gross one.
So it's a gross 1,000. It's a gross 1,000. 144,000. So the next question is, what is the meaning of this specific number? Anybody? What's the specific meaning of this number? it represent? Where are they getting this number from? The 12 tribes. And if they're getting this from the 12 tribes, and I'm going to tell that it's 12 even, how much they're getting from each tribe? How much will they be getting from each tribe? 12,000. Do we know what $12,000 look like? Yes? I don't know what $12,000 look like, because as it comes, so it gone. So I don't have time to look at it. But it will be 12,000 from each tribe. Can we read the reference, please?
And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000.
So 12,000 from each tribe. Nobody is getting the upper hand here. You'd have thought that Joseph would have got the upper hand. Not true. Because he was so loved. But nobody is getting the upper hand. So this question was a straightforward question. And it is for us to understand clearly as youths the importance of the 12,000 from each tribe, which adds up to be 144,000 that will be sealed at the start. Let us work hard to be able to see all of this. Praise Yahweh. So question number 3. What group of saints does John see at this point? How are they described? Where do they come and what are they shouting? Where do they come from and what are they shouting? What group of saints does John see at this point? How are they described? Where do they come from? And what are they shouting?
They came from the tribe.
They are the chosen saints of Yahweh. They were clothed in white robes and had palms in their hands. So they were specific. They were a specific set of persons. Yes? And what were they crying out? No. And both of them sit on, well, one sit on the throne and the Lamb is beside it. Seated on the right hand. Is there any other time you want to see right now? Do you want to see that time right now?
Yes.
I would still want to go and live it. I want to hear from Frederick. Our friend is smiling. You want that time to come now or? Or you want to live? You want to live? Yes. Wow, it's going to be a glorious time. So we have gotten some answers. The saints that were seen. The other thing, as I said with this verse, will come from our boat. So you will see persons, black, white, yellow, purple, rose pink, Now we have some people right now look like roast beef. You know? Some of them when they bleach and they're roast beef. Yes, Pastor.
Red or yellow.
The great salvation that has come to the Gentiles. Came to us at the price of blindness to Israel. Now, in Romans 11, in verse 35, tells us that blindness in part of the part of Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles. So it brings joy to my heart when the scripture says all Israel that is to be saved will be saved. And we could look and identify that 144,000 of the tribes are sealed, confirming salvation. And then we see the Gentiles, numberless, of every nation. See, unlike Yahweh plan, far exceeding knowledge and understanding of mind. And this is why I really said, whom predestinated to be saved shall be saved. You can understand that we just have to make sure that we are in His plan, but everything is working.
And the other thing is that they will be shouting out one specific thing. Salvation to our Ellen which sitteth upon the throne. It's going to be I can't stop talking about it's going to be a glorious time. Very glorious time. And I hope that I will just behave myself so that I can be there. I pray to Father Yahweh that I will behave myself to reach there. Revelation 9, Revelation 7, 9 and 10.
After this I beheld and lo a great multitude, which no man can number, of all the nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to Yahweh, who sitteth upon the throne and answered.
I don't think that the National Stadium can hold 10,000 persons. If I'm not wrong, it holds about 8,000 something. And when you go to Boys Champs and you go into that place and you look, you say, no man, full man. Can you imagine how it can count? Can you imagine you standing on top of the mountain to your left right now? And you standing, you look at people coming from here, so go down to Eater River, but you can't count those. You can't count those. Might take some time. But this is saying that you'll not be able to count it. I was saying to somebody recently that China, at one point, had their people only having one child. Anything else would be killed. Because of their population. And at that time, people walk and rub against each other. So one of the basic means of transport back then was a bicycle. It never makes sense to have cars. They're not able to keep up. Right now, Jamaica is 3-point-something million. Believe it or not. And if the expatriates come back, it's going to be an next 3 million. And believe me, that 3 million come here to the world. But there's going to come a time when there are so many persons around from all over that they will not be able to count it. And some of us think that Yahweh is only for the English person. But based on this reading here, it is for everybody. And they're going to mention, they're going to say, Shiva, Yahweh, Shichowa, Sinke, which name will never change. Once Yahweh is in the song that they're going to sing, you're going to hear, sing, Yahweh, sing, believe it or not. And that is what we need to let people know. The main thing is this. Whatever name you call it by is not the right name. Because the name never never change. The other thing that we can use against people out there is this. With everybody else in the scripture that name changed, it was said that it was changed. It tells in the scripture that it was changed. Show me in your scripture where it said that Yahweh and Yeshua's name, as all them said, is too powerful to be called by us. Why it was changed? Nowhere. Nowhere after he died and was before he ascended, he didn't say, yo, look from this, you have to go change your name coming out there. He didn't. He left here and he sent the Comforter. And that name remains the same. Praise Yahweh. So we're going to move on now to question number of the 144,000, which I think we answered already. What are they? How are these characteristics related to the saints described in Revelation 14, verse 12? There are three chief characteristics of the 144,000. What are they? Or are these characteristics related to the saints described in Revelation 14:12? One, they must have gone through great tribulation. If we hear somebody talking that they are of Yahweh and they are not going through any tribulation, something is wrong. Something is wrong. So they have gone through great tribulation. One. Two, they're what? No. What you just said just a while ago? Forget it? Anybody else? Yes. Yada? A new song? Characteristics.
Following the commandments.
Yes. Thank you. So they were marked. That part I can't decide for you right now. Okay.
These are they were not defiled women.
Oh, okay. All right. You win, sir. You win. Because I don't want to think that in those days, defiled with women was a good thing. Women with women. So they were not defined by women. So we're still looking at the characteristics. The second one just came out. What's the third one? And follow him how? They were obedient. They were obedient. So they were following exactly what Yeshua, the Yahweh had commanded them to do. They never lied. They were following what Yahweh asked them to do. So whether it's lie, thief, or whatever, they're following exactly what Yahweh asked them not to do. So let us turn to Revelation 14, and we're going to be reading from 1 to 5. I don't want you to read. I don't want you to read.
And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers, harping with their harps. And they sung as they were four keys and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. They are they which follow the Lamb, wheresoever he went. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruit unto Yahweh and unto the Lord. And in their mouths were found no guile, for they are without fault before the children of Yahweh.
Oh, that is why you said what you said, Stephen. What if you talk about man? Because Stephen tell me about virgins, you know. But I was saying, what you say? I don't know how to get this virgin thing. But yes, it is there. So these characteristics is how we identify this 144,000. There was no guile in their mouth, just as how Stephen said. There was no lying, nothing coming wrong from their mouth. Because they never had a policy where you have salt and the fresh coming from the same river. That would have been brackish water. So in Revelation 14:12, what does 12 say?
Here shall from the saints, here are they that keep commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yeshua.
So as was said, these 144 are those who have kept the commandments. And I think that is something that we clearly understand what we need to do in order to be a part. Put in context. No, you see, because I believe the kids are trying to be as kiddies as much as possible. So, let me see who I'm going to attack here now. I have spoken to her from one. What was one of the characteristics? Nothing. What was one of the characteristics? Listening at all. Not listening at all. Not in what your hand. What was one of the characteristics? Listening. What was one of the characteristics? They had no guile in their mouth. Touch me. Wicked. No. Well, minus lunch on them to them. One of the characters. They overcame great tribulation. Another characteristic.
They were not defiled with women, they were virgins.
They were not defiled with women, they were virgins. Yasmin, one other characteristic. They have the seal of Father Yahweh on their forehead. Huh? Not to those who weren't listening, sir. We will minus 1 spoon of rice. Okay. So the basic thing is that they have characteristics, and those are characteristics that we have to use to mirror Yeshua. Question number 5. Yahweh's end time people are described in Revelation as without fault. How is this state achievable? I think that's what we've been learning since week. Not true? How is it achievable? By mirroring Yeshua. To reflect, when you look in the mirror, you should see Yeshua. Cool. So when you look in your mirror, who do you see?
Yeshua.
When you look in the mirror this morning, who did you see? You see yourself. You like me, Steve? No, you like me? No, seriously. I don't remember right now. You like me? This side. This side to me. Yes. Let's go. Okay, so she see herself in the mirror, but she see herself also taking on a character. Or camp this year, which was not lined up with this at all. I know Father Yahweh does his thing differently. And far as I'm concerned, this is really lined up with what our theme. I even describe a revelation are without fault. How is the state achievable? That's what we have been learning. We have been learning that if we mirror Yeshua, then things are going to be good for us when he comes back for this earth. In between that time, we'll have to go back to this question. In between that time, we're going to be having the different characteristics, how they reach there. We're going to have tribulation. Yes.
One of the characters was
A virgin. No, but these were the elect. These are chosen. But for us, we have a scripture guideline that we're going to get married. So make sure that we have everything that is proper. Who? Frenchie? Okay. It's a spiritual virgin.
Because if you're a virgin and you're waiting for him, for a virgin, you're gonna find out that as you were saying a while ago, careful. Because then you're not gonna have anybody be married when people need to get married. But on the spiritual side, it says that he is the groom. So he wants us to be chaste, to be, to keep ourselves secure. So that's what I was looking at. Like, it's not physical, not natural work, some are going to remain virgin, but they would choose with that. But we still want people to populate, we still want whatever. We as virgins, we as people who study us as branding.
I get what you're saying, Sister French. I'm very much thankful for that. Because there's a lot of sense to that. There's a lot of sense to that.
Yes, but can I just point out still, it does, I understand I understand it that well, but it says it's child. So we got to know that it's a physical virgin, but we're not defiled.
Let me answer that question. Let me think hard. Would Joseph fall in this 144?
Yes.
No.
Yes, he was the he overcame great tribulation. He went from Potiphar's wife.
You know why I'm asking Joseph? Was it he promised that he will be a part of those who will be risen? And you say he would not be a part of this 144. All right. So we need to look into this deeper. We need to look into this deeper. So I'm going to ask us to write it down, Auntie Marsha, as one of our Wednesday night meetings for us to have our study. All right. All right. So we're going back now to question number 5. We now know how it is achievable, and we're going to read the different readings.
Very the Lord.
Revelation 14 verse 7, and in their mouth was full of death, whereas they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh.
Next reading.
Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of faith in peace, without spot and blameless.
Without spot and blameless.
Now unto him that is able to keep us from falling, and to present you faultless for the presence of his glory, with exceeding joy. To the only wise woman, our Savior, be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and forever.
Yeah, for me again.
I want to give to his able, that is able to keep you from falling, and to present you faultless for the presence of his glory, with exceeding joy. To the only wise woman, our Savior, be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and forever.
No and for evermore. No until tomorrow. Forevermore. It's a big difference. And those are some of the words that we need to stick to when we are speaking to others, from generation to generation, forever. Because that is what we use to say that is why we have the feast. It never said after Yeshua died. It says for generation to, from generation to generation. So our last thing is that this date is achievable. Is it, youths?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. How is it achievable? Because we want to reflect Yeshua, we are going to reflect Yeshua. You have to take on his characteristics. Yes, Pastor.
When Yeshua walked with her, he walked with her as a man. He set an example for us that he can walk through spotless likewise. So, while I was there at the devotion in Matthew 4, he was tempted. Why did the devil choose to tempt him? Because the devil know that he digests his powers within here, and the devil know it now was saying, I have a chance because he's now a man. Not that he couldn't have called for his fault, but he wanted to make it clear to you and I that we can achieve what the scriptures require of us. One of the time when Peter, the apostles asked him about, I think it was about marriage, and when they said to him, if that's the case, it's better for a man not to touch a woman. He said to them, not every man is given this, but to whom is given will be given here. So I'm just saying that to say this, that Yeshua set an example. So some of the things that look impossible for us to achieve, like in temptation and so forth, we can achieve, we can overcome. Because he overcame, we can also.
Thank you very much. Sister Thompson.
I was thinking about the same train of thought. When you said about just remember first that is great tribulation of what. So they were there. They did not it's not when they got there that they went through before. And I think that they were standing there because they were perfect. And I'm still having the issue where, yes, I know that they say that nobody is perfect. But if we walk a particular way, we can be perfect and we are supposed to be perfect before all of this is going to be happening or we're not going to be healed. And so when some of us as humans easily get into perfect, and we keep saying that, and we don't seek to be perfect as a human, as Pastor said, let's go way through it. And he said that we overcame, and he said that we can overcome too, because he knew exactly what we go through. This was a man. So if we don't get ourselves perfect from here, we won't be a part of the great multitude, and we won't be needed. So we have to get it right from here as we can.
Praise Yahweh. It is as if when people think about Yeshua on earth, they thought that Yeshua was covered totally by Yahweh, so he wasn't mixing with the elements out there. But he did. He did. I'm quite sure that when he went to the seaside where the fishermen were, there were cursing going on down there. I'm quite sure that he has seen very beautiful women. So everything was put out there in front of him just like everybody else. But guess what? He was here as an example. And so he chose 12 specific persons. And plus there were other persons who were following him that saw that what he was doing was just totally different from everybody else. So they even mix him up with Elisha. They mix him up with some other stalwart who would have emulated what true living, spiritual living would have been. And so when they saw him, they call him all sorts of different names because they think that maybe it would have been a reincarnation of those persons in the past. Sister Blake.
Yes, you just said something. You just said, he, of all the persons that were around him, he chose 12. And they were like there with him. They were like his ministers. And he just thanked after the 144. Because the 144 is like the government, those that will be leading, and then you have other persons who are around still following him, but they're not up here in the 144. So as I said, it is just kind of time.
Yeah. So to finish out today's lesson, thank you for that, Sister Blake. To finish out today's lesson, I need one person from each age group to stand. No, man, each age group. So we have little baby tots, and we have big tots. Want the middle tot. Give me one thing you learned today. Don't sit. Give me 2 things you learned today.
One, I learned that there were 144,000 that were going to be sealed, and that they have certain characteristics that Yeshua has, and that second is that.
So that was in the second.
So that's okay.
3 things.
So one of the characteristics that 144,000 persons had, they overcame great tribulation. Second, there were 4 angels holding 4 wings at the 4 corners of the earth, and the third one, 5, there was a 5th one telling them, wait until the 144,000 persons were saved.
Sure. What was the duty of the 5th angel?
To tell them to stop until or to earmark, write the name on the forehead. To write the name on the forehead of the persons.
One. You learned that today that you should mirror Yeshua? One new thing you learned today. One baby tot. Who can tell me something I learned today? Baby tot, baby tot. Sit. Big talk.
Joseph was the 11th.
Was the 11th of Jacob's children. Wonderful love. So we all learned something today. And we just hope that one of the most important things is that what we hear, we must use. That is most important. What we hear, we must use. It doesn't make any sense we hearing it and not doing it. Yes, Pastor.
Last thing now. So we come to Sister Council. You have some people talk about we can be righteous, we can. John, in John 3, verse 7, says, little children, let no man deceive you. He that doeth righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous.
So we're going to sing our last song and then we're going to ask Brother Thompson to close off in prayer.
Greetings, everyone. I'll be doing a song of inspiration.
Purify my heart, let it be as gold and precious silver. Purify my heart, let it be as gold. Pure gold. Purify my heart, cleanse me from my sin, holy. Purify my heart, cleanse me from my sins. Deep within,
We'll have our prayer now, and then we will invite Brother Miguel to do the inspirational service.
Let us pray. Father Yahweh, as we come before you once more, we have to thank you for life. I have to thank you for food, shelter, and clothing. I have to thank you for all the good things that you have done for us. There's nothing that we have done that you have made us to see another day in this land of living. Yeah, we are asking that all that we have just learned, that this sticks in our mind and that it can be beneficial to us and others who we talk to and tell about the word. Thank you for everything that you have done and what you will do. We are so full and precious to you. Hallelujah.
Greetings, Bridget.
Greetings.
Greetings. All right, for the youths, greetings.
Greetings.
On this side, greetings.
Greetings.
On this side, greetings.
Greetings.
All female, greetings.
Greetings.
All the male, greetings.
Greetings.
All right, and for the visitors, greetings.
Greetings.
All right. Give Almighty Yahweh His grace and mercy that brought us thus far. Right? And give Almighty Yahweh thank for the lovely Sabbath school. Because we have learned a lot. Right, youth?
Yes.
Alright, so to begin the inspiration service, we're going to sing from hymnal number 14.
Lamb of the cross. Lamb of the cross.
Lamb of the cross.
Lamb of the tree.
Hallelujah. We'll ask Pastor John now to lead us into our praise.
We're asking, oh Father, for this privilege that you have sought. Follow Yeshua all the way through the trials and the struggling. You promised never to leave us nor forsake us. You said you will be with us until the end. I'm asking you, Father, you will grant us this privilege. In the mighty name of Yeshua.
Alright. As we have just seen the song, I will follow the Lamb of Yahweh. And the Lamb of Yahweh is Yeshua. Remember when they crucified Yeshua? How many of us, if a person spit on us, what will we do? What will we do? 5. Well, let's speak about Yeshua. And he did not. Likewise, us. If you follow the lamb of Yahweh, the scripture said that you should follow him. Footprints, Yeshua, that made the pathway go. So, if you want to be in the kingdom, then Yeshua shall come. You follow where we lead. Because he has come and set a perfect example for us to follow. To follow Yeshua, you have to forgive. Because Yeshua forgive us of our sin. But if we need forgiveness, you have to forgive others, that you may get forgiven. And I just want somebody to stand from Samson's group, stand and read 2 Matthew 18, 21, 22. 2 Matthew 18, 21 to 22.
2 Matthew 18, 21 and 22. Then came Peter to him and said, Master, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Yeshua said unto him, Say not unto thee, until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
Alright? So, not until 7 times, but 70 times 7 to forgive our brother. And if we don't forgive our brother, neither will our Heavenly Father forgive us. So instead of forgiveness, we forgive others also. And my next word is humble. Follow Yeshua, you have to be humble. Because Yeshua was humble today. You have to follow Yeshua and be humble. And I want somebody from the Daniel team to stand and read 2 Matthew 23, verse 12.
And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted.
Praise the Lord. So if you want to reach that place, you have to be humble. Because he that exalts himself shall be abased, and he that humbles himself shall be exalted. And the next word is love. And we know that love covers, conquers the whole multitude of sin. And I want next team to stand and read 2 Matthew 5, verse 44. St. Matthew 5, verse 44.
But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them and curse you, do not hate you, and pray for them, which despitefully use you and persecute.
Alright, so if the person tell lie on you, would you still love them? That's what the scripture requires. Bless them that curse you, love them and he hate you, and despise you, and say all manner of evil things. And also can add to that 6 verse 35. St. Luke 6 verse 35.
Luke 6 verse 35. But love your enemies and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again, and your reward shall be great, and he shall be the children of the highest, for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil.
Okay. So, if you love, you will not steal from me. You cannot hurt me if you have love. So, because of all these things that Yeshua have, the mirror in Yeshua, and the beauty of Yeshua being seen in us. I have an next word. I don't know who want to stand and read this. St. Matthew 11, verse 29.
Say, my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I
So take the yoke of Yeshua and learn of him. And follow where he leads. And today, let's examine ourselves. And these three words, forgiven, forgive, humble, and love. Let's examine ourselves and see if we have any of these words in us. And if not, let's pray. Father Yahweh, you grant them unto us. And for all, I just want to read for all the audience, Colossians 3. Colossians 3, verse 12. Audience, stand and read Colossians 3, verse 12 and 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13. Colossians 3, verse 12, 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13. Ready? Yeah.
So therefore, as the elect of Yahweh, holy and adored, tender, kindness, humbleness, meekness, long suffering,
and no abiding faith or humility.
if any man have a quarrel against
First Corinthians 3:12 and Colossians
faithful love is sweet, but the greatest of these is love.
I already apologize, that's not yesterday. Alright, so let us examine ourselves, youths and also adults, to see if these words are found in us. And to ask Father, all the things that we are lost should not be. Ask him to help us to turn it out. And these come my few words to you in Yahshua's name. Hallelujah. And I receive from our hymn 27.
You must have followed me.
Bye.
And she was born slowly. Now who's the bird may have been? Announce thyself and follow me. I see my master, yes, she was gone.
I see
Response to him today. She want to laugh and shoot Third verse. The Holy City is someone's one verse. Mention all Yahweh's name. Speak not to me of blessing will come from Yahweh's Announce thyself and follow me. Follow me, follow me.
Thank you, Brother Warren, for your contribution. I hope that you were listening keenly, campers, and that the attributes that he spoke of, that you will seek to emulate those, because only then will you be mirroring Yeshua. We give Father Yahweh thanks for this morning session. Thanks to all who are in attendance. It is always a good thing to have family around, for brethren to dwell together in unity, and that is what we are going to upkeep, because we should live together in unity. Wherever we're from, we're saying Yahweh and you're obeying the commandments, we are saying the same thing. So we give Father Yahweh thanks. We are closing off our morning session now, and we'll be singing this song, Yeshua Wants Me for a Sunbeam, as our closing hymn. And I will be asking Brother Norton to do the closing prayer. After that, we'll have the doxology and benediction, and then we will head for lunch. I'm hoping that they are finished. And as I commended you this morning, I'm hoping that you will continue on the same trend, that you will behave yourselves wisely and observe the Sabbath as it ought to be observed. We have the words there, so nobody should be saying, I don't know. We should all be singing. So let us stand, please. Yeshua wants me for a sunbeam to shine for him each day. In every way try to please him, at home, at school, at play. I saw me, I saw me. Yeshua wants me for a sunbeam. Yeshua wants me to be loved, to God and see, showing how pleasant and happy His ways upon me.
Righteous eternal Father Yahweh, we come to give you all honor and praise and say thank you for the life that you have afforded us. Thank you for this gathering. You want us to be sunbeams for you. You have sent your son Yeshua to leave a blueprint for us to live our lives after. We thank you, Yahweh, that as adults we are here helping the young ones to see what this pattern is. To let your love abound in our hearts. Let your peace guide our path. Yahweh, and as we are about to pray, we ask that your righteous spirit remain with us. Let the words from our mouth be beneficial to us. Let our thoughts be centered around you. Yahweh, let your peace guide us. We ask through your son Yeshua. Hallelujah.
Bless Yahweh, Almighty.
I want to be the one who's getting the only one that Yeshua on saved.
Praise Yahweh. Make a break as this.
The teacher.